The feeling of you facing or undergoing spouse passing is like you kena hit head on with a 6-wheel truck.
Assalamualaikum and welcome back to our Safe Space Podcast, Episode 3, Part 1 with a very special guest today from Cohort 5. In this episode, we're going to dive deeper into financial literacy and financial planning from the angle of a powerful woman who is now raising her 2 children on her own. Without further ado, let's introduce our guest today, Dr. Irda. Welcome to our Safe Space Podcast. How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah. Assalamualaikum everyone. I'm Irda, mother of 2 lovely daughters. I'm a petroleum geologist.
What made you go into petroleum geologist? Was it like by the way or memang graduate from that course?
So it's actually by the way. My first passion was architecture, but I didn't make the grades. So the second option offered by the uni was science. I and my friend, we went to the open day of the Faculty of Science. So there were booths put up by all the departments, and then we passed a booth from geology. We didn't want to do any real sciences like chemistry, physics. So I said to my friend, just sign up je lah. The rest is history.
So what do you mean by tak nak go through into actual ni? Can you describe a little bit about a petroleum geologist?
I'm good in maths, but not at maths.
Okay.
So for each of the actual sciences like physics and geochemistry, there would be a need of strong math. By entering or signing up geoscience, there is only application of the math. Most of it is learning earth sciences. We do a lot of outdoors. Macam kita ada field work, kita pergi like beachside, mountainside. During that time, resonate with my outgoing punya personalities.
I see.
So we really love it.
In my first company dulu, my first ever job before I went into advertising and until today, it was down under geology punya company, geologist. Jadi my understanding then was cari minyak. Is that correct?
Petroleum geology or petroleum geoscience, there are a lot of branches. During my year of studies, we learn about historical geology, so how the earth was formed. We also learn about mining geology. Dipanggil economic geology. So that is about gold mining, tin ores atau biji timah.
Okay.
And then the other precious metals. So
Emas,
silver, bauxite, powder, SIM card.
Yang macam ada gold, silver plated thingy tu kan?
So other things juga. And also we learn gemology. We learn about gemstones.
So gold, diamond, emerald lah. The
My-
Women Wealth punya package. Okay?
Masa I beli my cincin tunang with my late husband, we ask for the handlines untuk tengok the carat, the clarity. The seller tu, dia cuak tau. Sebab tak pernah ada customer ask for handlines nak tengok the ketulinan dia.
Oh, Masya Allah, you can see even
Yeah.
from that thing. Tips membeli jewelry. Sila dengar.
But you have to sign up for gemology class in geology subject.
So what happened then bila you dah tengok?
When kita pilih gemstone, so there are different grades. Dia ada yang synthetic and ada yang natural punya lah. Kan selalu dia sekarang ni ada buat dalam laboratory.
Lab grown jewelry diamonds. Yeah.
So kalau any yang the non lab grown, dia ada dia punya own serial number. Dia akan emboss kat crown. Dia cakap number dia ni. So when we see, number dia lain.
Oh, no.
So each of the gemstone tu dia ada certificate card from association called Gemology Institute of America. We really applied what we studied dekat uni to our real life.
Alright, so thank you so much for sharing that aspect. That's the purpose we do Safe Space Podcast, so that we can learn beyond than just money. Because these are all value kan. Kita semua girls beli jewelry kan. Coming back to our conversation today, can you describe your earliest memory of money?
So I think masa earliest memory of money, of course masa kita punya childhood lah. Living in Kuala Lumpur during that time kan, the traffic was not so bad, but being in this nearby city centre, 7 of us siblings, only with one parent full-time working, mak stay at home. So you can imagine the harsh economic state for our family. So we don't have much. We learn how to adjust and how to tolerate each other, even to the point kalau makanan, my mom will cook the 3 times meal and make it a point semua orang wajib makan at the same table at a designated time. Kalau mak I masak kodok, there were 9 of us, so termasuk my father, so everyone will get the same numbers of kodok. So that's how she trained us to be fair in this distribution of resources.
Does that correlate also with the way how you view money and how you were raised when it comes to money?
In terms of how my parents back then manage their money, they're not open. Kita tak tahu pun how they get it. I mean, we can see the activities like my mom helped my father with odd jobs.
Even though some people may say, okay, we grew up in scarcity, but I think that became your advantage, no?
That become advantage and disadvantage.
Okay, in what way?
Advantage, we know that during that time, before we propel or has an advancement in career, so kita more thrifty. So kita buat hedge fund, tunggu dah cukup fund baru beli something. As you advance in the career, you don't upgrade your lifestyle, but you upgrade the way that you give out. I had opposition of it. So bila dah ada a bigger payroll, so you feel that all this while kita macam berdikit-dikit. So bila dah ada, it turns to be like macam lupa diri.
Okay.
So beli macam tak tunggu hedge fund, macam terasa nak holiday je lah, regardless of berapa ticket pricing. Somehow, even though you have a foundation from family which started good, growing up with the scarcity also have the opposite reaction to it, and you start to be victim of emotional spending. And in my case, after my late husband passed away 12 years ago, so that become my coping mechanism. When I was in the first module of Women Wealth, the foundation, so I understand, I had the season, I call it season of solace, of coping with the grievance. I was thinking to myself, why no matter where I travel, no matter what things I bought for myself, I was never happy. There was always void. So bila I tengok your podcast about emotional spending, how we use money as a coping tool, then that clicks. Sebenarnya it wasn't my need, that was my way of coping, using the money as a tool, and then jadi scammer pada diri sendiri, macam tak cukup tapi money.
Becoming the breadwinner overnight and then losing the love of your life. How was it like for you?
For me, 12 years back, because my late husband passed away 27th Ramadan in 2012. Putting in that notes saying that the feeling of you facing or undergoing spouse passing is like you kena hit head on with a 6-wheel truck. Aisya ada rasa macam melepek berkecai. I can also remember masa hari the day that he passed on tu, I was supposed to like macam pakai proper lah kan. I choose white to wear. I was standing in front of the ironing board. I tak boleh function. I cakap dengan my elder sister, boleh tak tolong gosokkan? I cannot think. So dia tolong gosokkan. I hanya tahu pakai dan I hanya tahu hadir. I hanya terima tetamu. It was not easy sebab for the first few days tu, you feel numb. It's just you wujud sebab anak-anak.
Like floating.
Yes, it's important to have crucial conversation with your employer. So I did pergi jumpa, saya cakap dengan dia, Peter, berapa hari yang I boleh ambil unrecorded leave? Because I need to sort out, I need to reorientate. I tak boleh berpura-pura nothing happen. So I cakap dengan dia, I don't want to overdo. Kalau ikut hati I nak ambil 1 bulan. Sebab it's not easy, you know,
with young children.
Young children. Because when you were in the midst of your marriage life, there's so much that you plan together. There's so much you want to execute, and with the fairy tale vision, we will live happily ever after sampai ke hujung nyawa. But that doesn't happen. So one of my coping mechanism was I became moderator to a mini forum for my company. Tajuk of the mini forum is Managing Sudden Loss. I wasn't ready to say goodbye. I quoted the title from a book I read for my own grieving punya management. I ada juga e-diary. I refrain myself from ranting dekat social media. It will invite more bad than good. Even though they cheer you up, but actually maybe they don't have the motive that you expect them to have for you. I always run, I have a personal pictorial e-diary, macam borak dengan my late husband lah. So I put a gambar, so I saying that, oh anak kita ni. So hari ni I ada kat Beijing. This was supposed to be the conference that you teman I, because I will be presenting. So I gunakan that pictorial e-diary for about a few months je. All this tool, it was not necessary to be like to last forever. Bila you rasa that you don't need anymore, so you pergi different tool.
Oh, it's so heavy for me because you're talking about it so easily.
Tak
To
juga,
see,
Aisya.
I'm the one breaking.
There's a lot of ladies yang cakap, you kuat lah Irda. So I cakap dengan dia, okay, if you are put in my place, I cakap, you will know what to do. Sebab you tak ada kat tempat tu, so you tak tahu. Allah tak akan bagi you idea ataupun strength. You are the bystander. You tengok. Kan ada pepatah Melayu cakap, berat mata memandang, berat lagi bahu memikul. But with that berat bahu memikul tu, Allah tak leave you
Hanging.
He will not desert you. Dia akan datangkan orang-orang untuk bagi you semangat. Macam all this while during my grieving punya management process ni, I have really amazing team members, my circle of close friends, family members, even my in-laws, employer, colleagues, semua is very uplifting. Tapi you kena pandai to build a boundary. People cannot get access to you as easily. You kena audit siapa yang boleh access to you. People do not know how you operate and how you think.
And they just judge based on the limited scope of their perspective of you.
I wanted to like advocate to people. It's okay that you're left behind because you are a lady, that you have other responsibilities or accountabilities other than your corporate roles.
You know, coming back to the way you cope, I mean, you did the forum, which I didn't know, and I'm so happy.
So last year, I was actually wanted to do the 10-year anniversary of that first mini forum. I dah fikirkan the title is The Body Keep the Score. So I dah fikirkan the finalist dia.
So let's zoom into that. The body keeps scores. How does that show up today? Because the muscle memory, the body moves first kan sebelum kita bertindak.
So the body keep the score. I thought I was doing well tau in that 12 years of grief management punya proses. I tak pernah sekali pun like engage myself with a counsellor. But sekali dia meletup during 2021 in the form of the relationship between my daughter and I, the eldest one. Because I think this is very important to show that if we don't talk about it at the early stage, it can propel to like a big punya and deep dark issue sometime in 2021, because I think that my daughter sees me as like a person yang always deliver to up to standard, like overperform. So pada dia it's so difficult to keep up with mommy.
Right, and she's the eldest.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally get it. I'm the eldest and my benchmark is not anybody else but my mom. But how can you win against your mom?
Betul.
That's the unrealistic part of it, the eldest.
I think dia rasa kekurangan in that sense, because during that point of time dia rasa she cannot function kat sekolah. Even when she did ujian kat sekolah test, the teacher will call me or email me, her exam paper come as ungraded.
I see.
Tak boleh degrade, dia tak boleh.
Right.
But if you talk to her, you ask all question 1 to question 10, dia boleh jawab. So dia jadi freeze. When you are the only person leading the family,
you're the mom and you're the dad.
Small close-knit family of 3, so dia become your confidant. You akan cerita masalah kat office you. Dia macam cepat jadi mature because you talk to them in the wavelength of an adult. In life, kita akan ada various titik terendah, also the lowest point in your life. It's not only once. Dia akan happen at multi stages of your life in a different magnitude and volume, which relate to financial. So this is why it's important to be literate, so kita boleh handle our own emotional and also in terms of financial.
Before we conclude this current episode, I want to ask, the body keeps the score. If you can just share that, if you're going to do this a decade later anniversary, right? What do you mean by that?
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't understand the relationship between pain and then the body.
Kenapa I nak buat the 10-year anniversary after my first mini forum engaging sudden loss? I wasn't ready to say goodbye. So the second mini forum yang I impikan, tajuk dia The Body Keep the Score, also quoted from a book that I've read. Kalau kita do not manage ourselves internally, so dia akan explode in a different myriads of problems. One of it is mental health. If we don't address it directly, forefront, dia akan pecah jadi different types of penyakit or problems within ourselves.
And that's why today we see a lot of younger people being diagnosed with new kinds of illnesses or conditions, right? Because in Women Wealth, we say what the mind suppress, the body express. So it's true?
It's true, because to the point that for my daughter, I've been a tough mom. Kalau you balik rumah, you bawa exam result 98, kenapa tak dapat 100? Tapi I tak lah. I jenis yang as long as kau jangan dapat D.
Alamak, ouch. I memang budak-budak. Jadi, I jangan G. Jangan gagal. Tu je.
Also talking about compounding effect, bila kita tak address this like bit by bit, like in my daughter, led her to a suicidal thought. So that came in the form of verbal and action. But the good thing is, bila we left our own comfort zone, I mean Malaysia, and we went to abroad, we've tasted the culture and also different type of parenting than your own Asian based or Malaysian based. Pivoting from that, so I become more receptive to these kinds of mental challenges. I rasa kalau I tak had the opportunity living abroad and raising my 2 girls abroad, I akan rasa macam, kenapa kau ni miring ke apa kan?
You don't embrace what she went through because
tu
we're so
as real. You rasa macam dia ni main je. Because my daughter was saying that I didn't tell you, mommy, because I thought I was a drama queen. So this is why she didn't come to me earlier. Sebab dia rasa benda ni saja dengan dia.
Padahal it's real.
So it's real.
Even more so today in younger children, even as young as primary school.
Betul. Kenapa my life is not joyful as perfect as these people? So when they started to compare, they rasa that they are underprivileged.
And I think this is so important for parents, especially young parents today, to understand. Tak boleh kata young parents per se, because we always undermine a younger person punya mental health, thinking that they are being dramatic.
And we always as a parent feel like kalau orang cakap tu, ni lah sebab tak solat, tak mengaji, tak berzikir. Because actually kalau mental health issues tu dia datang pum.
Dia terus datang. Spiritual aside memang dia terus datang pum.
Tak
orang
boleh.
nak bunuh diri terus dia punya feeling.
Dia macam in a position like dia tak nak bangun pun. These mental challenges, psychological challenges, they are real issues.
Today, mental wealth is the real wealth. So with that, we end today's episode. For future collaborations, you can email us at marketing@aisharahman.com. We'll see you in the next episode.